Cool. All right, so I'm live. Let's make sure the audio is good. Let's see. Score here. Obviously, there's that annoying echo, unfortunately. But yeah, these days, guys, I'm not really like night owl, so to speak. So it's 11 p.m. Eastern time right now. So I'm a little tired, just to give you guys like a heads up. But I did want to do the Q&A. It was a week ago when I was able to reach 600 subscribers, and now I am at 612. So 12 subscribers in 1 week. Guys, I think we can honestly get to 1,000, but baby steps. We reached 600. So now Q&A, I have all the questions written down. Some of them, I can't lie, I did put down answers, but then other times I was like, you know what, I'm just going to improv, so to speak, because some of these questions were like really good, but so good to the point where it's like I'm doing a separate video on it. So just bear that in mind. But before I get to these 1 million subscribers in the videos, okay, Q&A time. Yeah, man. All right. So the first person that I'm going to say that added a question, the subscriber's name is Hunter Doyle, who I actually know. He's a good friend of mine. His question is: I might have asked before. I might have asked this before, but what's your favorite Tom Hanks movie? Good question. So I actually have a couple, so I'm not able to really find a specific one. I think Road to Perdition. Road to Perdition is crazy underrated. Nobody really talks about it, and frankly, nobody talks about it when they say, Tom Hanks. Like, what's one of his best? Like most people think Philadelphia, Forrest Gump. I say Road to Perdition, Green Mile, and Captain Phillips. For me, those are like top three. Um, but yeah. So if I answered your question well enough, Hunter. But yeah, those are like the three main ones I would say. James Howard reviews movies. He asked, "What kind of music do you like, and who's your favorite band artist?" Good question. So I'm actually, well, you guys are subscribed, so you guys know it. I'm a very odd individual, so I actually don't really listen to like really any music. I mean, obviously I do, but not like what most people do. Like most people obviously listen to like rap, pop, all that stuff. For me, I listen to classical, but a lot of film and TV show based scores. Like I listen to a lot of instrumental based stuff. Um, every now and then I will listen to like a band like M83 or Two Steps from Hell, like stuff like that. But I'm more instrumental based because for myself, lyrical based music, a lot of times I have a difficult time like hearing them because I think a lot of times I just focus on the instruments during those songs, and so I just get caught up with that. And I'm like I don't even know what's going on. So classical music, a lot of film based music and TV show based music. I will say though, it's great watching film and TV shows because I do come across a lot of songs that are lyrical based that then lead me to like other songs like M85. I mean, not M85, M83. So stuff like that really got me. That Chromatics also did a good job with that. So that's two people I've answered questions. We'll get to actually, ironically, he's in the chat right now. John Milholland, you'll be up next with the question. Let me go in the live chat. 1 million subscribers to the videos. What is your favorite snack to eat while watching movies? Good question. Usually I'll drink like one of these buy drinks, sponsored by Buy. I'm kidding. But I do drink these usually while watching a movie, and then usually I'll snack on if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would say popcorn, but I actually found out around 10 years ago, 9 years ago, that I'm allergic to the corn. So usually I have a lot of strange snacks that I eat. Like stuff that most people wouldn't eat, like bean chips. Because I have a corn allergy, so instead of like tortilla chips, I eat bean chips. But it's usually just like odd things here and there. Let's see, one of the subscribers to the videos. My favorite Tom Hanks movie is Philadelphia. I need to rewatch Philadelphia. I was very close minded when I watched it like years ago, so I do need to rewatch it. John Milholland, hey Chad, why are you up so late? To do the Q&A. Actually, you're up next, actually, John Milholland. So John Milholland asks, here we go. 5 favorite film scores. Now, I can't lie. With this, I wasn't able to break down five specific ones, but I can give you just a range of like what specifically I like. I'll name five. Once Upon a Time in America, I absolutely love that score. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Once Upon a Time in the West, and I know those are all by the same composer, which is why I haven't done like a top 10 favorite scores of all time list just yet because it's kind of difficult because I like a lot of composers. I do also really like the score for, as cliche as it sounds, I really like the score for The Dark Knight. So that's four. And again, these aren't my favorite. I'm just naming five that like I actually love. Pan's Labyrinth, I think the score for that's also highly underrated. But again, I do have a note that I do want to actually sit down and actually try to figure out what my top 10 favorite scores are and then do a video of that. So, um, all right. Quateros Avalos asks, which ones are your favorite directors of all time? I have a lot, which is one of the reasons why I have so many director ranking lists. But to name a few, David Fincher, David Lynch, Wes Anderson, Paul Thomas Anderson, Martin Scorsese. These are all directors that in some way, shape, or form I paid homage to with my sophomore film, Little Pin Drive. Suzuka Bellamy asks, "What is your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie?" Um, I did answer that question in my director ranking list for Quentin Tarantino, but um, I get it that video I made 3 years ago, but I think it's still the same. Honestly, I think Django Unchained still is my favorite. That's honestly the one that I was introduced to his work, but it's not just that. I think it's much more because I find that movie to be fascinating. It's like a superhero film, but it's also like obviously like a spaghetti western, and it's also mixed with almost like exploitation. So it's very interesting. I think. Um, so I'll answer the next couple questions, but first let me go in the chat. Epic Zombie Killer, hey chat, how you doing today? Doing well, man. I can't complain. Um, pretty good day. Yeah. Epic Zombie Killer. My favorite Tom Hanks movie is Castaway. That's why I have a replica of Paul Wilson. Oh, nice, man. Castaway's good. No doubt about it. William subscribers in the videos. My favorite film score is either E.T. or Lion King. I can respect that. I think both scores are good. William subscribers in the videos. You like David Fincher? Okay, what is your favorite David Fincher movie? Good question. So David Fincher, that was like a hard ranking list to do. But I would have to say Gone Girl is my favorite. Uh, but I mean, I can't lie. Like his like five, six of his movies all like are very much so close in terms of ranking and everything for myself. So, but Gone Girl, I would have to say is my number one. Tojaville, what do you think of Michael Bay? I think Michael Bay is an auteur. I think that he's not my favorite. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Letterboxd, but he's not my favorite. But he is someone I still respect because my thing is the last thing I want from a director is that they don't stand out, that they're just like, a run of the mill kind of director. Michael Bay's not that. When you watch a Michael Bay movie, you know you're watching a Michael Bay movie. And that's important. Like I think it's important to really just be able to watch a movie and be able to pick up on like, things, themes and messages that like, these directors are trying to depict. And a lot of times it's, streamlined throughout most of their filmography. So I think it's important. Now, before I go back in the live chat, I'm just going to answer some of these other questions. JNear139, aka Joey. Shout out to you, Joey, one of my friends. When did you first feel the passion you have for movies? Good question. Um, Very good question, actually. So I grew up watching movies. Like that was one of the big things that my family that we did. We watched a lot of movies and TV shows. But I would say the way I feel about movies now, I would have to say it probably was 2010, because 2010, that was when I really started noticing like film techniques. Like I'll never forget when I saw Tron Legacy in theaters, and I really noticed like the camera work and everything, and the score. Like there were just things that like before I just never really paid attention to. So I would say probably 2010, and then January 2011 was when I watched True Grit, and that also really affected me in terms of like me picking up on stuff. So I would say 2010, 2011. Team RSB. What do you think about Kick-Ass 2? And would you want Matthew Vaughn to make a Hit Girl solo movie? Um, I thought it was a solid movie. Obviously not as good as the first one. The first one's really good, but I don't mind it. I think it's a rock solid watch. And then would I want to see a Hit Girl solo movie? Not really. I think Matthew Vaughn has a unique style, and I think that he's someone that should go into other endeavors. Um, I feel like he said all that he needs to with that franchise, so just let him do something else. That's just me though. Um, Joseph Quasi, have you watched anime? If so, which ones are your favorite? It's funny you're asking this because obviously I follow you on Letterboxd, and I do know that you've been watching a lot of anime lately. I I don't watch anime as much as the average person does. The average person obviously watches a lot of anime. I myself I'll watch maybe once, one or two like a year, if that. Um, my favorites have to be like Mind Game. Mind Game was actually recommended by a good friend. Shout out to Austin Rawcliffe. I'd never heard of Mind Game. I watched it. It seemed like it was like a David Lynch movie, just obviously done in anime. Mind Game is very underrated. I don't hear anyone talk about it. It's really good. And then Ghost in the Shell is a good anime too. Um, Last question on well, and then I have the back that I still have to answer, and then this one. But one more question, then I'll get into the chat. Service Ace of Diamonds, my friend Alex. Shout out to Alex. He says, "Keep up the good work, mate. What is your favorite moment during the filming of Will Open Drive? Also, with rising fame, it's only a matter of time before the real Will Open Drive achieves landmark status." It's funny you say that because I've been getting a lot of Snapchats and just like people reaching out about like whenever they drive by a Wilpin Drive, like it's like, oh, that's where it was filmed. Um, it's a good question. I would say probably my favorite moment during Wilpin Drive, which don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't seen it, but I would say my favorite moment during filming of Wilpin Drive was just us figuring out the cornfield chase because like I had it in my mind, but just the actual going through with everything, it was just like honestly like it was like a dream come true. I'm beyond proud of that. Also, just like that scene specifically, I think was just like a standout moment. But there was other stuff too. Like the Captain Howdy scene was also just like it was a ball, it was a hoot and a half. There's a lot of funny stuff that happened on the set that day. But but thanks, man. All right, now I'll get in the chat because it looks like there's a lot. Let me flip over and then I'll go. So Epic Zombie Killer. Ooh, yeah, I'm way behind. Holy cow. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A. Hey, Chad, who's your favorite superhero? Mine is Spider-Man. Um, that's a good question. It's a very good question. I would say maybe Doctor Manhattan or Rorschach. I'm a huge Watchmen fan, so I would say either one of those. Spider-Man's fair though. 1 million subscribers in the videos. Mine is Zodiac. It's fair enough. Zodiac, I love. Zodiac, I love, but I don't watch as much as the other masterpieces that Fincher's created. I need to rewatch Zodiac. My fiance loves Zodiac as well, but she's seen it more than me, which is ironic because I was the one that introduced it to her. Very underrated movie. John Malone, love Gone Girl and Zodiac. Oh, they're great. John Malone, thoughts on Mank? I rewatched Mank actually in preparation for the Oscars. I think it's solid. I do think that it starts off strong, but it kind of dampers out. Um, I don't know. It felt kind of unfocused, which is very odd. I would say from a Fincher film, but John Malone, do you hate the MCU? If you had asked me that 3 years ago, I would say absolutely. For me, I've accepted that it's the here and now. Um, a lot of their movies, I think, are just kind of like average, but the fact that it built up to Avengers Endgame and we got Avengers Endgame, I was happy with it. I was like, you know what, if it takes 20 something, average movies to get to the climax that was Avengers Endgame, I'm fine with that. And honestly, I also think that they learn from their mistakes because for myself, I criticize a lot of their like villains and cinematography, just score, like stuff like that. And then Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame, they all fix those issues, I think at least. So it's good that they've grown. I think it's important. 1 million subscribers, no videos. Here's the thing: I don't like Michael Bay, but I hate M. Night Shyamalan a lot more because of The Last Airbender. I'm a diehard fan of the show, but the movie is terrible. Um, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I saw the movie Last Airbender. I didn't like it, but I also have no affiliation with the show itself, so I probably don't hate it as much as I should. But again, I haven't seen the show, so but I feel you, man. I, I I like M. Night Shyamalan. I can't lie. He did like Unbreakable, The Village, Sixth Sense. I like him. I mean, he's also from Pennsylvania, so not growing up, I should say, as a teenager, he was always like a director that I always think about. Because I was like, wow, he was literally like in Bucks County, filming signs and everything. So it's like like it's great stuff, man. Honestly, VK Studios. Hey, dude, you made it. Awesome. Um, well, my subscribers and videos. If you haven't watched it, don't. It's one of the worst movies ever made. Last Airbender I've seen. It is terrible. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey Chad, my favorite superhero Spider-Man. What about you? Oh yeah, I answered that earlier. Rorschach or Doctor Manhattan. VK Studios. Um, Chad, should I watch The Master Blue Velvet? Ooh, bro, that's a tough question. Um, if you have time, watch both. They're both great. As I mentioned to you in obviously via Messenger, which I still need to answer your messages and everything. But The Master is a movie that will stick with you. Blue Velvet will as well. It really depends on what you want. Um, that's a tough question. I you know what? Screw it. Go with The Master. 'Cause I know you mentioned that earlier. Go with The Master, and then if you don't have time tonight to watch both, watch Blue Velvet then tomorrow because Blue Velvet's amazing as well. Love both. Um, 1 million subscribers in the videos. Blue Velvet is fantastic. Watch it. Master's all right, bro. Master is not all right. Master is amazing. But I respect your opinion. I get it. I get where you're coming from. Jump Mahon, I saw Good Time today. It was a crazy and awesome. Loved it, dude. That's awesome. I do love that movie. I would recommend you check out Uncut Gems if you haven't seen it. Same director, Safdie brothers. They also did what's it called? Heaven Knows What. That movie's good too. Very underrated. Um, 1 million subscribers. Yeah, Sixth Sense was really good, but I feel that M. Night Shyamalan made a lot more garbage. I feel like he's hit or miss. I mean, I like Glass. I think Glass is underrated. Um, and then like I said, I'm definitely in the minority, but I like The Village. VK Studios. I feel like I could love both, but also be disappointed both. That's true. That's the thing with art house films, or just films in general that you haven't seen. It's like it's a risk. Trust me, I get it. It's one of the reasons why sometimes I'll just rewatch movies instead of like going into that endeavor of like watching these movies that I'm like I don't know if I like or not. Which is why honestly the director ranking lists help out because it kind of forces me to experience new movies. All right, but I gotta get back to these questions. So I'm on the second page. So page 2, subscriber name Gavin Ayet. He asks, he has 4 questions. Um, First question: favorite episode of Twin Peaks? I've seen it, but no spoilers for others. So hands down, that would be part 8 of Twin Peaks: The Return. Hands down, my favorite episode of Twin Peaks. One of my favorite episodes of TV in general, honestly. It is outstanding, no question about it. Second question he asks: favorite year for film? I'd say either 1999 or 2014. I'm leaning more towards 2014. Reason why is because I actually got to experience that. 29, I mean not 2019, 1999. I was too young, so I wouldn't have gotten to experience that. 2014, I did, and I mean I spent a lot of money that year because I was before Movie Pass or AMC Stubs. So I spent a lot of money seeing a lot of great films at the end of that year, but it was so worth it. Favorite season of TV? That's like a toss up. It's either between Breaking Bad season 4 or Mr. Robot season 3, I would say. Um, and then his last question he asks his favorite movie poster. I would say There Be Blood. You might have seen it in some of my reviews. I have it. It's like the top one, so sometimes it gets cut off. Or no, I actually think it might not even be seen because of the way I like structure it in terms of like the headroom. But good questions. So next person, Claire Callaghan asks, our first question. She has 2 questions. First one, which trilogy would you say is more prestigious, the Big Mama trilogy or the Scary Movie trilogy? That's funny. So I actually haven't seen both. So all jokes aside, I can't say because I haven't seen either. Unfortunately, they're on the list, but obviously at the bottom. And then Claire Callaghan also asks, "Are you going to do ranking? Or are you going to go back to ranking director filmographies? I know they do take long to make." Yes. So that's something I know I did take like a little bit to like release my latest video. But I know also Claire that you're new to the channel, but like for me, the director ranking lists, I mean I have like was it 5 or 6 set up right now that are private and that I'm just waiting to like obviously make it public. The reason why I don't make them like a week a piece is because if you have it where it's like a week a piece, people are gonna think that it's something that you can get out like every week, and it's like that's not the reality. Which is why I try to have it like once a month, because when you have it once a month, it means that like it's there. It's something that people look forward to, but it's not expected every week. Because let's face it, especially because I do read the comment section. Obviously, I not the best sometimes with obviously answering comments and everything, which I do try, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is you guys also, ask about like certain director ranking lists and it's like certain ones, it's like it's a tall order. It's like it's a lot to get there. Like some people said Alfred Hitchcock or Sidney Lumet. And those are directors that, not gonna lie, it's gonna take years for me to do. That's just how it is. It's just like the Oscars. Like when I did the Best Pictures, that took me 8 years to do. So, but good questions, Claire. Good questions. So I'll get in the com section, but just want to first go through Felix's because Felix asked a couple questions. Felix, favorite Pink Floyd album, if you like them, of course. Haven't really listened to them, which I know is like sacrilegious, but I said earlier I don't really listen to a lot of music that most people do. So I mean, I should check them out, like Pink Floyd. I know. I'm sure I've heard some of his music, like in songs, like movies, but besides that, not really. Second question, Felix asks, could you do a Gaspar ranked worst to best video? Already planned, man. Already planned. So his filmography, I've seen 3 out of 5. So I still have to see 2 of them. One of them I did manage to track down. I just got to manage to watch it, and then the other one I'm still trying to track down. So, but I'll try to get it out there. And Felix, 2 other questions. The one question, Blu-ray collection at 700. Not a bad idea. I actually might consider that. I have like 400 and some 4Ks and Blu-rays, so it's not a bad idea. I know I did the Criterion ones. Actually, I have a Criterion video that's going to be probably released very shortly. It's like the other movies that I got for like Christmas and everything. For like Criterion movies that I have. I have a lot now. And then last question, Felix asks, have you seen The Holy Mountain, overrated or underrated? I haven't seen it yet. Actually, I haven't seen any of Jodorowsky's movies. I've heard a lot of people, especially on this channel, talk about it and hype it up. Haven't seen it yet, though. He's a hard director to find, honestly, his work. And then last one, TH. Well, and I'll get to the comment section. TH, how long have you been collecting Blu-rays and movies? Over a decade, honestly. I started with DVDs. Started, but I did collect DVDs at like such an started. I would say probably 2010, 2011. All right, now I'll get to the next question, West Production, but let me first get to the comment section. 1 million subscribers in videos. I'm a minority here. I don't like Gladiator. Yeah, that stinks, man. I love Gladiator. John Milholland. Yeah, I love Uncut Gems. Saw it in theaters. They have such a unique, cool style. Yeah, dude, that was such a great experience in theaters. I'm glad you got to experience that. 1 million subscribers. Do you watch Walking Dead? Don't spoil anything. I'm on season 6. Nothing to spoil. I got to season 3 and I stopped. This was like 5, 6 years ago. I'm not a big fan of TV shows that are like 13 episodes or more, and Walking Dead happens to be that way. And I'm usually someone that has to complete like a show, but I didn't even care at that point. That was like 5, 6 years ago. It's at what, season 12, 13 now. So, John Milholland, I'm not a huge fan of Black Panther, to be honest. I think the plot on that one is all over the place. Oh, I love the plot. It's like Lion King, but like more mature. I think with what it does with the characters was intriguing, and I really also liked what they did with Killmonger. But that's just me personally. Like I do know that there are some detractors for Black Panther. One man subscribes to the video. It's my favorite Pink Floyd album is The Wall. The Wall. That does sound familiar. I'm such a boomer when it comes to this stuff. John Mulholland, I couldn't get that into Blue Velvet. So weird. I need to give it another chance. My favorite David Lynch movie I've seen is The Elephant Man, which is a masterpiece. I've been looking forward to rewatching The Elephant Man. I have it on Criterion. I picked it up last year, so I'm looking forward to rewatching it. I remember liking it, but it's been a while. Um, Blue Velvet's not for everyone. I'm not going to sit here and say it is for everyone. It's a strange movie, but if you are able to get through it, it is an experience. That's for sure. John Mahone, keep doing those director lists. That's how I found your channel. Oh, thanks, man. Honestly, I noticed that when I started doing it, that's when I got the boost in subscribers. Because for the longest time, I had like 150 to 200 subscribers for like my first 4 years of YouTube, and last 2 years I've gained over 400 subscribers. So for me, that's amazing. It also works out because when I first did my first ranking list, I did it because I was like, at that point I had Letterboxd, but I didn't really know how to fully use it. So I didn't put like a Tim Burton ranking list on there. But like at that point I was still trying to watch like directors like work and everything. And I finally finished Tim Burton's work and I was like, well, I don't know where to put the list because like you can't do that on Facebook or anything. And again, I didn't really know how to use Letterboxd. So I was like, oh, I'll make a video. And I was like, if it does well, it does well. And I saw people were really watching and liking it. I was like, yo, I was like, why didn't I do this before? It's a win-win. It's like for me, it's like something I can look back on and see like what my ranking is. And at the same time, it seems like people really are liking these. And obviously I just kept on doing it. And the views came in, I was able to hear other people's opinions, and I was like, this is awesome because not only am I hearing other people's opinions, I'm getting to see them too. It's really good. I like it. There's that, communication. I really dig it. Um 1 million subscribers in the videos. Thoughts on Three Billboards Outside of Missouri? I really like it. I think that movie is really good. I love the themes, how violence on violence only creates more violence, and it doesn't, in the end, really change anything. I think the messages in that movie is very powerful, to be honest, and it's done subtly. I remember the second time I saw the movie, saw it with a friend, and I remember people coming out of the theater, it was just a bunch of boomers and everything, just asking about like what what it all meant, like what the point of the movie was. And me being me, I had to explain to them. And then once they did, they were like, "Oh, that makes sense." I was like, "Yeah, it does." You just gotta read into it. Um, Joe Milholland, do you watch other YouTubers? Oh yeah, dude, absolutely, no question about it. John Mulholland, if you have the Criterion channel, you should talk about what you like to watch on that. Good question. I actually don't. So when I'm at the Criterion channel, I have my Criterion collection. So I'm a big collector of physical media. So I have a bunch of Criterion Blu-rays. The Criterion channel I did have briefly. That was like 4 years ago. Um, John, wait, 1 million subscribers in the video, season 11, the last one for Walking Dead. Oh, gotcha. I get that. Jumping on a hop, so close to finishing The Walking Dead, but I haven't gone back yet. I have to get through the Negan plot. God bless you guys. Seriously. All right. So I'm just gonna answer these questions and then we'll get to the next page. West Productions. Don't know if you're in right now in the comment section, but West Productions says, "Hey man, congrats on 600 subs. Doesn't even feel like that long ago that you were at 500 subs. Keep up the good work. Here's my questions. First question he asked, what is your favorite animated film? I actually filmed a top 10 best animated films list that are my favorite. So I'm not going to say it on here because I have that video so you can like watch that. It'll be released shortly. What is your favorite documentary? That's a good question. I would say I don't really watch too many documentaries. Similar to anime, I have to be in a certain mood. But I will say my favorite documentary has to be Side by Side, which is all about shooting on film versus digital, which was eye opening for a 17, 18-year-old. I haven't seen it since, but it really did stick with me. So Side by Side. What is your favorite non-English language film? That's tough. It might be between Old Boy and Pan's Labyrinth. I don't know though. That's tough. Um, and then West Productions also asks, who do you think is the most underappreciated director? Ooh, um, that's honestly a really good. That's a good question. I think it's underappreciated. I actually don't know. Don't know because see that's such a hard question to ask because I feel like underappreciated means that like they don't even have like a fan base or anything. So I was gonna say like Wes Anderson or David Lynch or David Fincher, but they all have fan bases. Um, I would say Spike Jones is pretty underrated. I feel like not many people talk about him these days. He's only done like 4 films, but he's great. He has a lot of things on his mind. Um, so I have 4 more subscribers that ask questions, so I'll answer those in a second. Let me just go live stream, see what people have to say. 1 million subscribers. Thoughts on Shakespeare in Love? My thoughts are it's a good movie, but the only reason it won Best Picture was because Harvey Weinstein bought the Oscars. Yeah, I like Shakespeare in Love quite a bit. I know I'm in the minority these days with that like hot take, but I liked it. I think it's a good movie. I know a lot of people bring up Saving Private Ryan because it was like Saving Private Ryan versus Shakespeare in Love, but truth be told, Saving Private Ryan it's a good movie, and I respect it especially for the technical aspects. But I think neither of those movies should have won. I think The Thin Red Line honestly should have won Best Picture that year. But I do think that Harvey Weinstein, especially with everything that's happened the last several years, it is very apparent that I'm sure that there was stuff that happened that let's face it, weren't probably the most legal. When we subscribe to videos, honestly, Three Boys Outside Ebbing, Missouri is my second favorite movie. My number one being 12 Angry Men. What are your thoughts on 12 Angry Men? That's awesome. I mean, that's great taste, honestly. I do love 12 Angry Men. I think it's a masterpiece. With what it does, especially with like such a like a small setting, it just does a great job, and it really gets you in the minds of these characters and like the moral questions that they have. Really liked it. All right. I apologize about noise. All right. So next questions. Next one, Key in the building asks. Well, first says, "Let's go on the road to 1K, 1,000." Which I appreciate. Thank you very much. And then Key in the building asks, "What's your favorite actor and actress?" Um, Good question. Very good question. So I would say Daniel Day Lewis is my favorite actor, hands down. That's something many of you guys know. And then favorite actress, it might be Kate Winslet. I think she has a wide variety, and I didn't realize until like about a year ago that she was, British. I honestly thought she was American, so I was very surprised. I was like, wow, she's great. Tom Collins is the next one. He asks 2 things. So Tom Collins says, "Hey man, congrats on 600 subs. My first question is if you can meet up with 4 people in the film industry, dead or alive, who would they be?" David Lynch, David Fincher, maybe Sam Mendes. Just because I'd be curious about how they made American Beauty. And then maybe Nolan. I feel like Nolan would be very interesting. And then Tom Collins' next question is what some of your favorite episodes of any TV show? So actually, it's funny that's a question because I actually finished filming my top 10 favorite premieres as well as finales with TV shows. I'm going to be doing a separate video as well as those two, but the other video and this one I haven't filmed just yet is going to be about. It's going to be about like episodes in terms of, I mean, in terms of like the show itself, like what my top 10 are. And then the director asked 2 questions: what kind of milk do you indulge in? For me, I'm dairy free, so it's oat milk, sometimes almond, or maybe cashew milk. And then the director's last question is Quentin Tarantino hot? For myself, no, 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 no. Great director, then. And then last question, Owen Scarth Jones, do you like sports? I mean, I respect them. Obviously they're difficult as any job is, but They're okay. I don't hate them, but it's not something that like if I had a choice between like a movie or a game, I would 100% like 100 out of 100 times watch, obviously the movie and not the game. All right, now let me ask. So those are all the questions that were asked in the Q&A. I will be ending this live stream early. Normally I last a little over an hour, and everything, but I am so beat. But let me go to the live chat. Um, John Millen. Most underappreciated directors Alexander Payne. Yeah, actually, I'm planning to do a director ranking list of his films. I watched pretty much all of his films like 4 years ago, but the one movie I never got around to watching was Citizen Ruth. So that is on my list, and I do need to watch it. And once I watch it, I've seen all of his work, and then I can rank him. But my subscribers and videos, a lot of people say Saving Private Ryan should have won, but I'm the only person who thinks Life is Beautiful should have won Best Picture. Life is Beautiful is good. It's very, very well made. But I do think the Life is Beautiful does have issues, more so than even Saving Private Ryan, which Saving Private Ryan I think is a decent amount of issues, especially these days. But on a technical aspect, it is great, honestly. Um, Clayton Kelly, hi Jack, congrats on 600 subscribers. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Um, John Holland is Tom Holland's a good actor. I think he's decent. I don't love him, but I think he's decent. Million subscribers. What did you think about 2020 overall? Um, I mean, obviously, I feel bad for so many people that had to go through like so many terrible things that occurred. For myself, though, I was pretty well off. I was very fortunate, honestly, with how everything turned out because I mean, 2020, I made two films, so it was just like it was one of those things. I was busy, so I didn't really even have time to kind of like process just how big of a situation this is. Um, John, what's your favorite movie here? That was actually one of the questions someone asked. I would say I'd say probably 2014. Excuse me. John Mellon, did you do a David Lean director list? No, actually, I didn't even think about it. That's a good point though. I should maybe try to do that. Clayton Kelly, what are your thoughts on Charlie Kaufman? I'm thinking of doing a deep dive. I've only seen Eternal Sunshine. I'm thinking of ending things. I love Charlie Kaufman. Charlie Kaufman is a voice of reason. He has such a unique voice. I really dig him, honestly. I think he's a great writer. I think Eternal Sunshine is amazing. Thinking about things I thought was solid. I do need to rewatch it though. Just because I do feel like it is one of those films where it's like you have to watch multiple times. So, um, my subscribers in the name. I'm thinking of making a drama TV show about the events of 2020. It's not a bad idea, honestly. There's definitely a lot of content, 100%. So, hopefully, yes. Subscribers. You're gonna make a drama TV show about the events of 2020. Yeah, that would actually probably do really well. How many subscribers in the videos? Last question. Thoughts on Rango? Dude, I love Rango. Absolutely love Rango. That might, I don't want to spoil anything, but that might be on my list for top 10 animated films. Yeah, Rango's great. Rango's very underrated. I'm actually glad you mentioned it because I think I really should um like do a review for that film because I do think it's great. I know we really talks about it. Clayton Kelly, have you seen Spiral, the Book of Saul yet? Yeah, actually, I have. I saw it Thursday. It's funny today. I finally realized, actually, before doing the live stream, I was like, oh, I saw Spiral, and I was like, I still didn't do the review yet for film wise. I did see it. Similar to the first Saw, it's like a dumbed down version of Seven, unfortunately, but it's not bad. Like if you're a fan of the franchise, I think you'll really dig it. I just had a lot of issues with it. When subscribers, no video, get some sleep tonight. Yeah, man, seriously, I'm beat. I don't know. These days, I just get really tired around this time of night. It's so weird. Um, I don't know what it is. Like maybe narcolepsy, which I'm sure some of you saw. I did post a video on YouTube, literally me like just like falling asleep. I was like, holy cow. But yeah, I'll wrap things up. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If anyone has any question for the next couple of minutes, feel free to ask away. So I will try to be going to sleep after the next couple of minutes. Any other questions? Oh, there we go. Clayton Kelly, I'm really impressed. You watch all the Oscar Best Pictures. I'm using your ranking as a guide to watching them all as well. Going to go backwards from your list in South American Beauty. Oh wow, thanks, man. I know I appreciate that. Honestly, I am I'm impressed with myself too, which I know sounds narcissistic, but like I'm impressed with myself because like I set out to do that in 2013, like watch all of them. I didn't know it would take nearly a decade, but to be able to during a pandemic watch the last couple that I've been putting off for like a year or so, to finally sit down and watch them, it was pretty awesome for myself. And I was like, I don't know how much subscribers are going to take to this, but I think it's cool just ranking each decade and then doing like a worst and best, and then just you know all out ranking all 93. So, but no, I appreciate that, man. There's going to be plenty of movies that are going to be hard to get through, but there's also going to be plenty of gems that you'll find. Rest assured. John Mulholland Wise, 2014, the best movie year. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that maybe it was just because of like how not necessarily impressionable I was. It's like like how old I was, like all those years ago. But I think it was a lot to do with the fact that there was just so many movies I saw where I was impressed by. There was a lot. It was actually one of those things where it just got to a point where it was like, what wouldn't impress me at this point? Because we had a lot of great movies that year. We had Gone Girl, we had Interstellar, which Interstellar I saw like 4 times in theaters. Birdman, you know, Whiplash. Like, these are experiences that I was able to experience in theaters, and it was great, honestly. Um, so yeah, that's my. Hopefully, I explained it well. For like one last question. Vacation Studios favorite Lynch movie. Mulholland Drive, hands down. I always thought it was going to be like Blue Velvet versus Mulholland Drive, but just learned that it's Mulholland Drive, hands down. All right, so there's 2 questions from Clayton Kelly, VK Studios, and after those, I'll then get going. Actually 3. three questions actually. So Clayton, VK Studios, and Shine Aqua Illusion. I'll answer those three. All right, so I'll answer the question. Clayton Kelly, yeah, man, kudos to you. One last question. Which are you more looking forward to, In the Heights or West Side Story? Um, it's a great question because they do seem very similar. I would say West Side Story just because I'm curious to see what Spielberg's going to add to the table with that, as a remake. Because I mean, for crying out loud, the original one, Best Picture. So I don't know. I do want to rewatch the original one because I remember liking it, but not loving it. But I'm curious. VK Studios. What should I know going into the Master? Um, I mean, I know I said it a lot with my Will Up and Drive live stream, but just go into the Master knowing that there's a lot of visual storytelling. There's a lot of scenes that, in the context of the story, might not make sense at first completely, but when you actually break it down, not only does it make sense, it actually enhances the story. Um, it's also not your typical movie with how it deals with the characters. I love how they deal with the characters, especially the arcs of the characters, but a lot of people might not necessarily like it. But Joaquin Phoenix did such a great job in the role, and not only did he do a great job, everyone around him did as well, and it really immerses you. And I would say go into knowing that, but also the caveat being that you might be bored by it, not necessarily you particular, for any reason, but again, it's not for everyone. I know that, but I do think it's a very effective movie. Uh, Shine Aqua Illusion, you make me as damp as a cellar down there. All mildew enter if you dare. Bruh, don't worry, I can't get pregnant. My rivers are diseased. Okay. VK Studios, why ask L? I know you love Mulholland Drive. Yeah, no, for real, man. I love Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive is just it's so good. Clinton Kelly, I heard The Master's Tom Cruise's least favorite PTA film. Well, yeah, I mean it makes sense why too when you break it down. Like it makes sense why. It's a great take on Scientology, honestly. Planet Moles, are you still in the Marine Corps? Oh yeah, sure. I'm on boot camp right now. VKC is hell, man. We gonna make that joke. Yeah. John Mulholland, I love The Master. It's one of the greatest. It really is. It's a great film. It's one of the best of the 2010s. No doubt about it. Very impressed with that. Planet Mools. I only sleep 3 hours a night. That stinks, man. I have to get 7, 8 hours to fully function, which is why when I made Wheel Up and Drive, it was frustrating because there would be a lot of times where I wouldn't get 7, 8 hours and I'm just like a zombie. So I got what was it, 7 hours of sleep last night. But, all right, any last questions and then get going? Going once, going twice. All right, all right, guys. I'll get going. I just want to say, oh, Clint Kelly says good night, man. Just want to say again, I appreciate you guys joining the live stream. Um, who knows? Maybe we'll get to 700 soon. Don't worry, we'll do another Q&A for that, and then also I might also do live stream soon, maybe when I'm not as tired. But again, you guys all ask good questions, especially in the live chat, so I really do appreciate it. And again, you guys are the best. I couldn't have done this without you guys, honestly. So I really, really do appreciate it. So, but all right. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you on the other side when I post my next video, and I will catch you guys later. All right, bye.